Hey, this is Greg Gomez III, 100KMLM.com, MLMBusinessBlueprint.com, my blog, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's 100KMLM. I'd be happy to have you as a friend. Now, here's the thing. In this little 5-minute short video, I'm going to keep it to 5 minutes here, so if I keep looking at the clock, bear with me. I want to talk to you about market selection. Now, yes, I've talked about this subject beforehand, but I got off a call here just a bit ago from a person who was considering joining my program, and she wanted to know basically the differences between what another coaching program was teaching versus what I was teaching. And in her case, what that coaching system was teaching her was simply how to be able to go out there, get lists of existing network marketers, cold call them, and try to get them to join her network marketing business, which she was having terrible success with. She wasn't getting any results whatsoever. And the reason that step fails, as well as like the friends, family, and neighbors, and really pretty much anything that would have you go out there and target a group of people based on just their networking approach, is because it has you doing three things that are well, a major thing that's really, really wrong. At the core of that is you're trying to convince somebody to do something different than they're used to doing. This is no more evident than in talking to your friends, family, and neighbors. If you're focused specifically on your friends and families and neighbors, you got to understand those folks, especially if you're leading with the opportunity message, many of them do not have a desire to do a network marketing business or any type of home-based business. That's why they have a job. That's why they are employee-based in mindset. Very few folks are entrepreneurially mindseted, and quite frankly, if you are that person, it's like 1 or 2 people out of like 40 or 100 people. Quite frankly, if you are one of the entrepreneurial people in that group, there's probably not anybody else in that group that is seriously wanting to run their own businesses or believe that they could, or more importantly, are wanting to do the type of business that you're taking action in. So that being understood, it's silly to try to convince folks to do anything. There's an old saying, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. It doesn't matter how well you convince them. It's the worst way of doing business. It's the worst way of trying to effectively grow your downline. There's an easier way. And this has to do with market selection again. And the key is these 3 categories are what's going to help you to be able to determine who is the right group of people for you to focus on. Now, I'm going to draw a funnel here. Very poorly, I might add. All right. So this is a funnel, right? And this is much like a sales process where you'd have prospecting, sales, and all that kind of stuff. But there are 3 main mental categories you have to have in place for you in selecting the right group of people to go after. First things first, you have to target a group of people that actually have a want. Oh, excuse me. I'm starting off with the wrong one. They have a need. They must have a need. This is no more true than targeting with your products and services. They have a need. They must. They fit a category. Let's say they're overweight, right? They're obese, or they're overweight by 30 to 50 pounds. Okay. Well, they have a need. They need to lose weight. They know that it's healthier for them to be successful in life or live a longer lifestyle if they actually lose a couple extra pounds, right? Okay. But not all of these folks are going to have the next category, which you already know because I spoiled the surprise, which is a want. These folks don't necessarily have a want for what it is you have to offer. So prospecting helps you to determine the difference between those folks that have just a need and those that actually have a want to do something about that challenge, right? So prospecting is not about selling. It's simply about identifying what it is that those folks, or sifting and sorting between the folks that actually do not just have a need, but also have a want in addition to that. Now, the third category is very important. This is where most folks drop off. Now, I'm not going to try to squeeze it in there. This is where you separate the do's from the do-nots. This is where you separate the wannabes from the actual doers. They have to have a willingness to take action. They must be willing to do something about that situation. Case in point, everybody wants to be rich, right? Everybody wants more money, but not everybody's willing to do what it takes to actually go out there and get those types of results. So because of that, that's how you differentiate these folks from the need, the want, and the willingness. The sales process inserted here helps you identify who is willing and who isn't. And really, how do you determine it? Is you have a call to action. This is critically important. You need to understand this. Too many times networkers go out there and they'll say, okay, hey, this is something I got. Isn't it great? And they expect people just to follow over and say, oh yeah, here, let me get my credit card. I want to sign up right now. It doesn't happen that way. Why? Because you as a marketer have to give them a call to action. You must test their willingness. And if they tell you no, it's not that they're saying no to your offer. They're just telling you that you haven't provided enough support. Yes, I have a need. Yes, I have a want. Yes, I'm interested, basically. Okay, you have to have those criteria. But you haven't proven to me beyond a doubt that your product or service or opportunity are going to be able to meet the needs that I'm looking to achieve. And that's critical. That's when then you need to work on your sales process, but not to get too far off the topic here. And then the call to action is just your test to get them to come back and say. So the 3 key things you want to focus on are, first, when selecting a market, make sure there's a need in that marketplace, number 1. Number 2 is that there is a want in that marketplace for what you have to offer. In the 6-step system that I teach, there's a real quick way to figure this out. It takes 2 seconds to determine if your market actually has a want for what you have, and you will be able to have a really good bead on what your market will respond to, more importantly. And the 3rd thing then is they need to have a willingness. So there you have the 3 key elements you need to have in a market when you're choosing them. Erase this so that you don't have all of that business in your way. A need, a want, and a willingness. You find a group of people that have that desire, or that meet these 3 criteria, you literally have a really great list. Your goal then is to craft a sales message or a marketing message that will get them to transcend each one of these phases. And that's really easy to do. In fact, one of the things we teach you to do in the 6-step process is how to easily identify, track, and measure what your message needs to be so you can actually get the biggest results you possibly can. Again, this is Greg Gomez III. We ran a little over the 5 minutes, but thanks for being here. Again, MLMBusinessBlueprint.com. Opt in up here in the right-hand corner for our newsletter so you can actually get more details. If you're on YouTube or any other place like that, go to the links listed below here. Go to MLMBusinessBlueprint.com, which is my blog, and you'll be able to find the links there. Thanks for viewing this. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can submit them on the blog in the comment section. Comment. I love comments. Give me some comments. Comment below, subscribe to the right, and view above. Okay, I'll talk to you.